dirty fish, that last one. Dirty fish.
Kia ora guys, if you watched my last vid on soft bait basics, this is a follow on from that. This was my first mission for summer on the 1st of December, and it pretty much is typical of what we're going to experience over the next couple of months on the water. There's a lot of boat traffic, the fish are still in spawning mode, so fishing during the middle of the day is going to be bloody hard. So fish are change the lights, get up early, fish small natural coloured soft baits to have success. I also had one of my new subscribers ask a couple of questions. One about how I've got my tackle pod set up in the 400. I've made a couple of changes with that. So mate, if you go to the end of this vid, I have that showing how I've set up the 400, how the tackle pod's set up now, and the transducer. So that's for you. And you were also asking about a soft bait that I was using in one of my earlier vids that's no longer on the market, but you tend to see me using it in comps and in remote places where there's a lot chance of a lot of big fish. So there you go, mate. This is what it is. Tried to make the market, didn't have a lot of success. A hell of a good soft bait, and they haven't been available for probably about 6 years. So if you're lucky enough and can find some of those, get out there and use them. They slay the fish. So here we go, guys. Let's get into it. My action from the first day of summer.
These are my favourite of the little wee duke shads because they're nicely tapered. Almost like a gulp, but they're ultra tough and strong. Last many a trip. In fact, I'd say he's actually got too good a product. He's not going to be able to sell that many because they're going to last that long. She goes pretty good on the Bait Junkie jig head, the 1/2 ounce. It's stacked up. There we go, that's better. Fish on. Not bad, second cast. There we go, first baby. It was actually legal. Back you go, buddy. Back to Tangara. We're 9 metres, but he's gone shallow in that. He's got me buried. I'll just loosen it off a bit more. He's got me down the shit. All I can feel was rubbing and rasping on the rocks. Just gonna let him swim out, see what he does. Here he goes. Still in the weeds and rocks. Bugger. 7 metres, he knew a spot. Could be a tricky one. Here we go. Oh, he still swam away, but still got that weed in the way. This is where you need to invest in good quality fluorocarbon and braid. Said it many a time before, but I spend a lot of money on that side of the equation. There's a difference between landing them sometimes and then getting away. Oh, it's just all rubbing at the moment. If I get lucky, he'll swim it out. We'll try fiddling around. Angles a bit. Not liking my chances just at the moment. Meters now, 6 he went straight for the rock. I thought I had him pretty safely. Get a bit of depth. By doing that, cut it off. raise it up without snapping it. Feeling a big snag. Oh, there he goes. He's still on. Did swim in. Must have it like a cave. Through the weed here, little gains. It's actually wrapped around the weed, I'd say. Probably circled it a few times. Good. Chances aren't good, guys. 20-pound fluoro. Turn you guys off. Don't think the outcome's very good here. We may have just got it free. Right, you guys gonna see a snapper in a sec. It's actually quite a good one. Don't know how I pulled that out of the bloody shit. Right, we'll bring her in. Caveman gold rush doing the damage. No net today, guys, and this is going to be pretty poked after getting held down there in the bottom. So I'm just going to have to be very careful. And just in under here. There we go. Not a bad fish for the first one of the summer. Check that out. Caveman gold rush. You deserve to live, big fella. Back he goes. That was an epic fight. Yeah, it's gone. Yes. Awesome. Right guys, after getting taken to ground like that, I'm just checking what damage I have on the fluorocarbon. Feels alright, feels good. But we're just going to retie the lefty's loop. Because I guarantee the next fish, it could probably just break off after that. What we need is a fish in between the size of the first one and the second one to take home. I paddle on up to the next point, hoping to get into some good fish. But as it turns out, my 5 hours on the water coincides with a period of slack water. I just got to wait for the tide to start moving again. Well, I've had to resort to a dirty old gulp. But we've hooked up to something that could be dinner. Not huge, but just one to take home would be nice. Or two would be perfect, but there we go. That one looks pretty healthy. Gotta be a bit careful with the mushy snapper at the moment. This one looks quite prime. There we go. It's been spawning. You can see where it's been rubbing. But it looks good, an eatable fish. So we'll take this one home, be perfect. Well guys, it's crazy how tough it's been. Pretty much back in the bay. Could be my last cast, definitely probably my last fish. I'm just going on dark, but the GoPro makes it look nice and clear and light. It's been nuts how hard. I've got enough footage to make a vid. It's going to be pretty lean though. It's not a lot of good stuff to go on, but we'll see how we get on.
But this might be number 2 to come home. Yeah, nothing wrong with that fish. Beautiful eater. Nice and fat. Perfect eating size. So there's 2 to take home. Awesome. I'm on the threader. Beauty. I had one of the subscribers, the new subscribers, ask a question about how I've got this set up. This is the 400, so it's set up different. With the reload you have the tackle pod with your transducer under here all in one, so you just drop it in, the whole lot. In this kayak the transducer is fixed in place under here, comes up through a scupper hole right there, and I've changed it. I've put the transducer cable through the hole and it comes out the front here. So that's my transducer cable. So now all I have to do is drop that in like that. 4 loops go on. So all I have to do is get the transducer cable and plug it in the back. Bit easier said than done, but we'll go. Now for protection, I've been making these up lately, just for my mates. So if you want one of these, you can shout out and I'll sort one out for you. But a fish finder covers, it's pretty important for keeping your investment in the fish finder going, so it doesn't stuff out early on you. Well guys, the end of the vid. Hope you enjoyed that one. That fight with that fish is pretty typical of a lot of good fish and how dirty they can fight. What does surprise me every time, if you look back through my vids, and I tend to notice it when I catch a decent fish, is how calm I stay in those situations, and I'm prepared to take my time. And that's often the difference between landing those fish and missing out. So the advantage for me with fishing off the kayak, we don't have the resistance off the boat. I can fish light drags and I can have a big success rate of landing those good fish. So for me, I'm probably landing 80 to 90% of the good fish that I hook up. Compared to when I was a boatie, probably only about 10%. So now we're at the end of the vid, guys. If you like this type of content and you enjoy watching the channel, make sure you subscribe so you're on the YouTube algorithm, and that way you'll get the feeds. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next vid. Cheers, guys.